What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. This is a random Friday stream. I just decided that I was going to do a stream tonight. There's really no UFC going on this weekend. Not a lot of MMA in general going on this weekend. If you're in the members only Discord, you guys knew I was doing this stream. I let you guys know about an hour or so ago. So I figured, why not get on here, talk about MMA? I'm sure there's stuff I missed. There's been a lot of recent news. Paddy Pimblett. I made a video today. Paddy Pimblett has a fight coming up at UFC London, July 23rd, I believe. He's fighting Jordan Leavitt. We got official confirmation. We're getting Arman Tsarukyan versus Mateusz Gamrot as a main event. We got that the other day. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff that is going on that I'm forgetting off top of my head right now. What's going on, the Hot Crispy? What's going on, man? Happy to have you in the stream, man. Greatly appreciate you. But as always, guys, make sure to like the stream. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel. And fill the chat with questions. It's a bit of a random stream, so I just threw the title together, talking about Paddy Pimblett's next fight, Tsarukyan versus Gamrot, and then no UFC fights this Saturday. So, is there anything that you guys are watching this weekend as far as MMA wise? I know there is some like lower tier events. But as far as, anything, I don't know if there's anything out there. Sometimes I forget the schedule half the time and forget some events are going on. So let me know if there's anything you're watching this Saturday. What's up, Mario? Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. What's going on, French Fries? Hope you're doing well as well. Good to see you in this chat as well. It's 10 o'clock. I don't know how long we're going to go. We're going to see how the chat goes tonight. We could be on here for an hour. We could be on here for 5 hours for all I know. I just figured jump on here. I might do a stream tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I mean, there's no MMA going on tomorrow. So it's crazy. It's like the first weekend forever without MMA. And I think actually after tomorrow, let me just double check this. Somebody said this recently. So after tomorrow, let's see. I'm going to check my calendar. I think for quite a few weeks we have, hold on one second. Okay, so we have June 4th, UFC fight, Volkov versus Rosenstrike. June 11th, UFC 275, Teixeira versus Prohaska. Okay, that's June 11th. June 18th is UFC Austin, Calvin Kattar versus Emmett. June 25th, we have a fight card. July 2nd, we have a fight card, UFC 276. July 9th, we have a fight card. This is insanity. We have something July 16th. We have a fight card. July 23rd, we have a fight card. July 30th, we have a fight card. August 6th, we have a fight card. August 13th, we have a fight card. August 20th, we have a UFC fight card. And then we're off for a week. And then September 3rd. So after August 20th, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After tomorrow, we have 12 straight. We have 12 straight UFC fight cards. That is insanity. Just ordered a smooth PC, man. I'm geek. What kind of PC did you order, man? I want to get a new PC myself. I got a laptop right now. I want to get like a high-end PC for editing. So let me know what you got. I was actually thinking about buying one this weekend, but they're just so expensive. I know you discussed this on the Discord, but thoughts on Gamrot Tsarukyan being a main event? Yes, I did. Me and you discussed it on the Discord. I'm usually highly critical of main events, especially when we're getting Miesha Tate, Ketlin Vieira, Holly Holm, Ketlin Vieira, Norma Dumont versus Aspen Ladd, garbage. But for me, Mateusz Gamrot versus Arman Tsarukyan is a solid main event, and especially considering it has a solid undercard. There's a bunch of great fights. Umar Nurmagomedov's on the undercard. Who else is on the undercard? We just talked about this earlier, but now I can't remember who else is on the undercard. So it's the 25th. Okay. We got Tim Elliott on the card. Chris Curtis, Rodolfo Rivera, Neil Magny, Shavkat, Thiago Moises. I think Darren Till is on this card as well. For some reason, it's not showing. I wonder if it got moved. I don't see it anymore. I thought it was Darren Till. No, that's on the London card. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the London card. Yeah, so it's a solid card. I think it's a solid main event. I think it's two guys who are the future of the division. Um, so I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to complain too much about that one. I hope Paulo doesn't pull out of 277. What do y'all think regarding his weight? The fight has already been rescheduled, my friend. I hate to break it to you, Mario. Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa is not on UFC 277 anymore. That's probably a good 5-rounder. Yes, I agree. That will be a good 5-rounder. What's your opinion on Pat Barry groomer since she was 14? I don't know all the details, but if anything's half as true as what people are saying, it's disturbing. I think Pat Barry is a weirdo, but I haven't thought about it too much. It's just a strange predicament in general. Tank versus Raleigh tomorrow. See, I don't watch boxing, but a lot of people do. A lot of people do for sure. Worst UFC year in history. I think that's a little over dramatic. We have no idea what the second half of the year is going to look like. One I got was like 2,200. Yeah, the one I'm looking at is like 3,200. The one I want to get, and it's on sale right now. I want to get it, but I'm just a little on the fence because it's just so expensive to put out. And I'm definitely going to get something like it before the end of the year, but I got to see how YouTube goes. Everything seems to be kind of exploding right now. I may decide to get it and then just hope by the end of the year, I make it up between YouTube ad revenue, memberships, donations, stuff like that is what I'm hoping for. Mario is already crying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break the news to you. In the last 12 months, Bellator has had at least a dozen cards better than their corresponding UFC cards this weekend. Are you sure? I don't know. I haven't paid that much close attention to compare them both. But, okay. Hey, man, how's it going? Thoughts on Yair Brian Ortega now that it's official? I'm happy that it is finally official. I don't mind talking about unofficial fights, but I hate when people act like they're official and they're just constantly pretending like the fight's already a foregone conclusion when it's not. We had that talk with Paddy Pimblett, Ottman, and Zaitar. But now that it's official, I'm very, very excited for that matchup. I'm curious, because I think Yair is a far better striker. But how does the offensive takedowns and offensive grappling of Brian Ortega come into play? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you have a guy who's a superior striker, but he can't let his legs, can't let his legs. I was thinking of Yair kicking. Can't let his striking go because of fear of the takedown. So I'm curious how Yair matches up with Brian Ortega, because is he going to be worried about the takedown or not? And then if Brian Ortega does get him down, which if Max Holloway gets him down, I'm pretty sure Brian Ortega can probably take him down. I wonder, can he survive on the ground with the jiu-jitsu and the submission threat of Brian Ortega? But that's a great featherweight matchup. And if Yair wins and let's say Volk beats Max a third time, I think Yair could be fighting Volk, and I think that'd be an interesting matchup. Yair is what's the word I'm looking for? Dynamic striker. His kicks are lightning fast. He has great speed. He has good stamina, as we've seen. He won the 5th round off of Max Holloway. So I'm really interested for that fight. And someone correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe you guys don't remember. I'm pretty sure Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez was supposed to be July 16th of last year, and that got rescheduled to November. And now we're getting Yair versus Brian Ortega July 16th of this year, which is strange. 277 not looking that good. Besides the main event co-main is so-so. 276 looking pretty good. Why did you say if we should skip 275? 3 good fights and could have been 4. I didn't say. You got to watch the video and you got to look at the thumbnail. The thumbnail was just saying, should you skip? And it's just trying to understand that I'm talking about the card. I didn't say skip it. And in the video, I grade the fight card, and I clearly say I'm definitely going to be buying it. I'm definitely going to be watching it. I'm excited for the top 3 fights. But overall, as a card as a whole, I would grade it lowly. So next time, keep a closer eye, James Perez. Keep a closer eye. Because I didn't say that. But, UFC 277, I have to admit, I've been a defender of UFC 277. But now that you lose Costa versus Rockhold, I hope they add something else to it. Yeah, it's already off on Tapology. Yup, it's gone. It's still a solid card, though. Juliana Pena, Amanda Nunes 2 is a solid fight. Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France is a solid fight. Derek Lewis, Sergey Pavlovich. I can always forget how to pronounce his last name. It's a decent fight. Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. Can't wait for that fight. Drakkar Klose, Diego Ferreira is a great fight. Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves is a decent fight. And hopefully they add one more fight to that card after losing Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa. I hope they add, maybe, who knows, we might get Nate Diaz on that card. Wouldn't that be awesome? I could see that happening. That's in Texas. Wasn't UFC? No, UFC 263 was in Arizona. But Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards was originally supposed to happen on 262, which was in Texas. So for all we know, maybe you get Nate Diaz on that card. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there could be a chance you get Nate Diaz versus somebody on that card to beef it up a little bit. Okay, let's continue. You think UFC 277 worth getting tickets for or not? I would probably go, man. If I was nearby, I'd be a little bit annoyed with the main event, but I still think it's a very important fight, and I would probably still go. And it depends how much you're willing to spend on tickets, but if it's your one chance to go, then I would definitely go. What's up, Jordan? Hope you're doing well. My friend. Good to see you in the stream. For some reason, it's saying my Wi-Fi is like low on StreamYard. Are you guys having any issues with the stream? Can you hear everything all right? Is there any lagging? Let me know in the chat real quick. And guys, like the stream. I need you to like the stream. That's how we get a bunch of people in here. It gets recommended to more and more people the more likes we get on the stream. Something along those lines. It helps in the algorithm. So do me a favor. Take 1 second. The stream is choppy. Okay, give me 1 second. It might disconnect for a second. And let me just, for some reason this happens, I'm going to disconnect my Wi-Fi and reconnect it real quick. I don't know why it's doing this. So give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, hopefully it is better now. We'll see how it is. Let me know, guys. Let me know if it's any better now, because that's really annoying me when the stream's choppy. Let me know, guys. Is that better? I'm genuinely curious, guys. French Fries, my guy, a member for 10 months. A member for 10 months, man. That's awesome. Yeah, there was lag. I hope it's not laggy anymore, guys. You have to let me know in the chat. This is driving me nuts. It's not showing it anymore. It's not showing the Wi-Fi signal. For some reason, I get issues. And if I just disconnect and reconnect to the same Wi-Fi, it works fine. I don't get it. I do the speed test. Everything looks good. I'm going to soon run an Ethernet cord upstairs and have an Ethernet, just a direct internet connection on my computer. I really want to buy this PC. I've been talking to French Fries about it in the Discord. I want to buy this PC, but it's so expensive. It's so expensive. Okay, it's better. Seems better. Okay, guys, I appreciate you. I don't want that. Soon I'm going to be improving. I'm going to be improving. I'm going to get the hard Ethernet line, and then hopefully we never have to worry about it anymore. Even though my Wi-Fi is good, it's showing full bars down in the dashboard on my computer. Showing full bars, but some reason in Discord it was showing something different. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Keep filling the chat with questions, guys. What do you think about Nick saying he could beat Usman? Delusional or what? Yeah. For a split second, I thought about making a video about that. But then I said, you know what? I'm not going to make a video, trashing somebody who's got CTE. I mean, it's straight up delusional. Usman would wreck him with one hand tied behind his back. And anyone implying that Nick Diaz would have anything for him is delusional. Let me put it this way. Nick Diaz is far, far from his prime. Kamaru Usman, let me look dead into the camera when I say this. Kamaru Usman would wreck Nick Diaz in his prime. Let alone the shell of himself that he currently is. And this is coming from a massive Nick Diaz fan, okay? I like Nick Diaz. I like Nate Diaz. I like the Diaz brothers in general. I have a Nick Diaz autographed bobblehead right behind me, right here. in this collection. I like Nick Diaz. The guy obviously has some brain functioning issues, and it's actually really sad. And I don't even think an athletic commission would probably even sanction that fight. He straight up quit against Robbie Lawler. He didn't even really get clipped too badly, and the guy quit. If anybody else did that, it would be career suicide. They would be the laughing stock. They would be the butt of every joke. Imagine if Conor McGregor did what Nick Diaz did in the cage, where he just goes down to one knee. He's like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. It's over. The referee jumps in and stops it. Doesn't even really get lit up. Doesn't get hurt. They would be the laughing stock of MMA. Nick Diaz got a pass. The Diaz brothers perpetually get passes. What's going on right now, I think there's something seriously wrong with him, to be honest. He's asking, yeah, he would get demolished for sure. Okay. Yeah, delusional, my friend. What's up, Tommy? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream. Appreciate you. How long do guys like Bryce Mitchell, 15-0, and Arnold Allen, 18, gotta wait to get a fight with some of these overrated guys at 45? Hopefully in their next fights. I think both of them should get a big fight next. Maybe they can even fight each other. I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup. Mokaev, future champion. Too early to tell, man. He's still so young. He's only had one fight in the UFC against a guy who's fringe UFC competitor. It's delusional. Agreed. Mokaev, definitely future flyweight champion. I don't know about definitely. I'm very high on him. He looks very good. His UFC debut was phenomenal. But at the same time, it's still way too early to tell. I wasn't crazy about Rockhold Costa fight just because I wasn't giving Rockhold that much of a chance. He shouldn't be jumping into a fight like that right now, in my opinion. Well, if Luke Rockhold is remotely close to what he used to be, that's a winnable fight for him. And I'd rather see him jump back into a big fight rather than trying to fight, the Diego Sanchez of the middleweight division like some people would. Nick Diaz would beat the brakes off of Usman. Lol. 100% Joey. Okay. Thank you for agreeing. Please don't make any bad videos about Nick Diaz. It's fair. It's not fair. Yeah, I agree. He shouldn't be fighting anyone. Yep. I don't think the UFC gives him any more fights. I hope not. Diaz could have beat Usman in his prime. How can you say destroy? No chance Usman would finish Nick. Usman would probably finish Nick. I'll say that right now. Hey, Joey, how much of a chance do you give Cannonier to pull off the upset at 276? I feel it would really shake up the division as Adesanya's past title defenses have been underwhelming. Less than 10%. If they fought 10 times, Adesanya wins 9 of them. I don't give Cannonier much of a shot. He definitely has the power. Maybe a fluke injury after, not a fluke injury. But maybe, there could be some type of injury when I don't even want to speak it into existence. Never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Very little chance do I give Cannonier. I don't think he would wreck him in his prime, would favor Usman, but Nick in his prime wouldn't get wrecked by Usman, could possibly beat him. I don't know, man. Did you watch Nick Diaz in his prime versus GSP? No, bro. They threw like a record amount of punches and Nick was getting hit at the end. Okay. Diaz can only do that because he's the last guy who would ever quit. Well, he quit. Usman would demolish whatever version Nick has ever existed. I agree. And I'm not saying that GSP demolished him. I'm just saying GSP dominated him every single round. And I think Usman has far more power than GSP does. With all due respect, you're deluding yourself. A prime Diaz will get crushed by Usman. I agree. How do you see Ortega versus Yair fight happening? I think Ortega is going to be looking for the takedowns. I feel like Yair is going to be looking to keep the distance and strike. And I think if Ortega gets it to the ground, he probably submits Yair. If Yair can keep it standing, it's going to be an ugly, ugly night for Brian Ortega. That's the way I see it. Early prediction, I lean Yair, but I could flip back and forth, honestly, because Ortega's constantly getting better with his striking. And at the same time, Yair was taken down by Max Holloway. Max Holloway's not some crazy, offensive wrestler. And if Max can get him down, maybe, just maybe Ortega can get him down. Being a little bit sarcastic there. And if Ortega gets him down, I don't know. Ortega has a great submission game, especially if he's the one on top. So, we'll see. I was just trolling when I said Nick Diaz would beat the brakes off him. I know better. I know better than I know Usman would destroy that guy. I know you were trolling. I was just messing around. I think prime Nick Diaz versus Usman could be interesting. Current Nick Diaz, absolutely not. Okay, fair enough. Yair looked good against Max. Yes, Yair looked better than I ever expected against Max. Looked better than I ever thought against Max. Dustin McCourier. Nick would sub Usman. Stop it. But thank you for the 4 months of membership. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for being a member and supporting the channel. If anybody else wants to become a member of the channel, the link is down in the description. You get loyalty badges next to your name. You get custom emojis you can use. And you get the members only Discord. So feel free to sign up. It's $3 a month. Okay, let's continue with the questions. GSP didn't demolish Diaz. He beat clear, wasn't total domination. Diaz can take it. And cardio for days, good boxing. Dish it too on the ground, great. Hard to think he gets owned. I mean, he got controlled for 5 rounds. Feels like there's no hype for Adesanya Cannonier. Yeah, I would kind of agree with you on that. It's not a fight that I was particularly itching to see, for sure. GSP is better than Usman technically and much better defensively. Usman, because of his power and is so defensive, he would have given Diaz a better chance to catch him than GSP did. Okay, people are more hyped for Max Volk than Adesanya. Probably. I think so. Joey, it's 3 a.m. here in London. Let's go. Sinister, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for being a member, and thank you for watching at 3 a.m. in London. I appreciate you. Guys, we have 30 people in this stream right now, and we have 8 likes. I need you guys to like the stream. That's how it gets recommended to more and more people. Run up the likes on the stream. It's free to do. It's free to do, and it helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys did. Can Islam beat Oliveira? Yes, he can, but I don't necessarily favor him to do so. I think Oliveira wins, but it's a very close fight. And depending on what happens, I mean, I could see Islam taking him down and beating him up on the ground. If he can avoid the submission, Islam could have a great night. So the answer is yes, but I don't think he will, if that makes sense. Low T City, good point, James. I was going to say that. Wouldn't mind seeing Brian Ortega versus Bryce Mitchell. That is a matchup that I would want to see. Personally, I would love to see that matchup. I mean, could you imagine those two? It'd be an interesting matchup because I'm curious if Ortega was trying to keep it standing. Woodley did have a guillotine choke on Usman in their fight, but he broke out. Prime Nick Diaz submission threat could be higher. Okay. Okay. GSP in his prime versus Usman. Usman beats him. Usman ragdolls him. Usman beats him up on the feet too. Nick's not going to be able to let his hands go because he's going to be worried about the takedown and the power of Usman. We are going to hit 3.4K tonight. Yeah, guys, subscribe to the channel. If anybody's watching and they're not subscribed to the channel, we are 2 subscribers away from 3,400 subscribers. We are at 3,398 subscribers. So go down, subscribe to the channel right this very second. We do these streams all the time. I'm kind of hyped. Izzy for Jarrett C. Okay, fair enough. Who's the toughest stylistic matchup for Volk? Adesanya, Usman, or Oliveira? Adesanya. If they were the same weight, Adesanya. Like the stream or no one is invited to dinner. There you go. There's more hype for Pereira versus Strickland than Izzy Cannonier. I don't know about that one. That seems a little far-fetched there. But okay. If Izzy loses next fight, it would be big upset. Volk has to dominate Max to really go to the next level and probably get that GOAT status featherweight. He's knocking on the door of GOAT status featherweight. Alexander Volkanovski has a great resume. But if Izzy loses, it would be a massive upset. I can't imagine if he was to lose to Jared Cannonier. We'd get a rematch for sure. And you never know. Just statistically, it's one of those things where if you continue to win over and over, you know, you're bound to lose eventually. It's just like when you play, what's that called? Is it called roulette? Right? When you throw the little ball down, you pick black or red. If it hits red 4 times, the laws of averages is eventually going to hit black. And eventually it's going to hit green too. I think there's green on there. It's bound to happen. So the more Adesanya wins, the more likely it is for him to lose, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. GSP in his prime versus Usman, who wins? I'll say GSP outstrikes him on the feet. What's up, Joey? What's going on, Biggie Boy Boxing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate you. I don't think Bryce will be able to Brian Ortega the way he did Edson Barboza. I don't think Bryce will be able to. Yeah, I would have my questions about it, but it's very possible. Off the top of my head, no, I don't think he'd be able to take him down as easily. They should have had Yair versus Brian in Austin and Emmett versus Cater in Long Island. Huge Mexican population in Texas, and Calvin is from Boston. Which one? Yeah, I wonder why they didn't do that. That would be a smart idea. And it's not that. I mean, it's a month difference, so maybe that's what really matters. You crazy to say Usman Rex GSP? I never said that, so I don't know who you're responding to. I just picked GSP to beat him. Do you see the UFC making Tony versus Conor at the beginning of next year? It seems this is the fight fans have wanted for years. Maybe now Conor will finally take it. I'll say yes, but I don't know. When can we expect the official Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munoz prediction? When can you expect it? Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munoz. Let's see. When is it? It's July 2nd. So you'll see at the end of June. It'll be the week before. I got to do a lot of prediction videos, so let's look up UFC 276 as it stands right now. For UFC 276, I'll be doing a prediction for Adesanya versus Cannonier, Volkanovski versus Max Holloway, Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira, Pedro Munoz versus Sean O'Malley, maybe Uriah Hall versus Andre Muniz, and probably Brad Riddell versus Jalen Turner. So I'll have 6 predictions. It'll be out. I try to get all my predictions out by Tuesday of fight week. So if the fight's coming up on Saturday, I try to get them all out by Tuesday. So when we have a card that has that many prediction videos on it, I usually start like the previous Thursday or so. So you'll see it over that weekend before, probably, most likely. That's going to be a lot of work. I'm actually dreading it, but I'm also really excited for it. I really like to do prediction videos are some of my favorite things to do on the channel. GSP is the GOAT, or at least arguably so. Joey, I'm turning 22 soon. Am I still considered young or old? I'll say young. I don't think Bryce Mitchell will be able to bully Brian Ortega the way he did Edson Barboza. I agree. Least exciting division and why? Least exciting division. Women's featherweight, it's non-existent. If you don't want to go with that division, then women's bantamweight. If you want a men's division, probably... No, my nose is itching. Men's division, maybe middleweight, just because we have a dominant champion right now, and he's kind of cleared out the division quite a bit. I'm still favoring Izzy in his next fight, but Jarrett might get slept on. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it. I doubt Izzy loses. Yeah, there you go. I answered your mail, too. I mean, he could lose, but I highly doubt Cannonier the first to beat him unless he catches him and KOs him. Yeah. Would have to be a nasty like head kick or a big hook or something along those lines. How will Yuri's grappling hold up to Teixeira? I don't know, man. It's going to be can Yuri Prochazka chin Glover Teixeira before Glover Teixeira drags him to the ground? That's the real question. Sean Brady said he can beat all the division. Maybe. I find that hard to believe, but it's possible. Conor versus Tony is a dream matchup. Yeah, I just wish... It's funny how Conor wants to take it after he gets chinned. Brutally chinned. I'd like to see the Chandler fight or the Diaz fight, but I wouldn't mind seeing Tony get a big payday. Most people don't know, but Yuri already has tons of experience. I know he was in one, wasn't he? No, he was in Ryzen. That's what it was. It wasn't to you, bro. Okay. Munoz will definitely sub Hall. Will Tsarukyan win easily next fight? No. His next fight is very tough. But off the top of my head, I favor Tsarukyan, though. I think Tsarukyan could get it done. I think he's the better striker, and I think their grappling could cancel each other out. But I'm very intrigued in that fight, and I think Mateusz Gamrot can easily win as well. I'm not going to be confident regardless of who I pick. Chandler fighting Oliveira, being a wrestler, gives you an idea what Islam versus Oliveira will be. Like, Chandler was able to hold Oliveira on the ground and not get submitted in that first round. Yeah, but that was after he rocked him brutally. Guys, my nose is itching like crazy right now. They can do Tony Ferguson versus Conor in the fall, maybe November. I heard that's when McGregor might be returning. Yeah, they can. Is Pedro going to be O'Malley's first real competition? Yes. Strickland versus Pereira, who and how? Early prediction, I will go Addix Pereira via brutal head kick KO. That's what I'll go with. What percentage you give Santos against Bullet? 10%. Probably less than 10%, honestly. Like 6%. I'll throw 6% out there. Hell yeah, always enjoy the prediction videos. Those are the videos that take the most time. Because I always watch a lot of their recent fights because sometimes I remember fights differently than they actually happen. So I like to refreshen up on them. Then I really debate, who I think's better at this, who I think's better at that. Then I got to try to figure out how do I think the fight's going to go. Then I make the tail of the tape graphics, It takes me forever to record it. Usually they're like 15, 20-minute videos. It takes forever to render them out. I usually do them in 4K. So I'm glad you're enjoying the prediction videos. They're some of my favorite stuff to do on the channel. If I had to pick out my favorite things to do on the channel, it's probably the prediction videos and probably the weekly live chat. Chandler versus Poirier, who wins? I'll say Poirier. I just don't like Chandler's gas tank. Bryce Mitchell sub, Islam, and Charles 100% agree. No, I disagree. That Izzy card is so stacked kind of pissed me off because some of these fight cards have 1 or 2 good fights on paper on it. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's International Fight Week. That's why it's so stacked. Because it's International Fight Week. So I'm not going to cry too much about it. I love getting a stacked fight card. But I get what you mean by, I hate when we have these kind of crappy cards that we got to suffer through when some of these fights could be, divvied out. For sure. Guys, we are 1 subscriber away from 3,400. Who wants to be that 1 subscriber? Go subscribe to the channel right this very second. Worst men's division is Def 185. Well, there you go. We're on the same page. Tsarukyan versus Gamrot is probably my favorite. For the fight I'm most excited for the next few months. It's a great fight for sure. It's a great fight. I have no problem with them being in a main event, especially considering that fight night card is stacked. If he beats Strickland, you think the title shot is next. 100%. If Alex Pereira beats Sean Strickland, 100% he is fighting Israel Adesanya next. If Adesanya gets through Cannonier. 6%, LOL. Jarrett would have to take Izzy down, in my opinion, if he wants to win, but I doubt he does that. I think if it stays standing, Izzy would make Jarrett look kind of silly. Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to the Costa fight, to be honest. And I think Adesanya gets an impressive finish there. Adesanya has been talking about Jarrett Cannonier for literal years, saying he's the dark horse of the division and he's a great fighter and this and that. And the reason Izzy has been so complimentary of Jarrett Cannonier is because stylistically he knows it's an easy fight for him. That's my personal opinion. You can disagree with me if you want. Who would you like to see Justin Gaethje fight next? I was thinking the winner of RDA Fiziev. I would love to see Justin Gaethje versus Fiziev if Fiziev can win. If not, I wouldn't mind seeing a Dustin Poirier rematch. That's a great one too. Santos versus Jamal, who do you got? I'll take Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill just looks unbeatable at this point in time. I know he lost to Paul Craig, but the striking, the power, what he did to Johnny Walker was incredible. Santos hasn't looked like a shell of himself since losing to John Jones and injuries in his knee. So I will go Jamal Hill. Your channel is truly a hidden gem that I stumbled upon recently. Congrats on the good content. Thank you, the Cynical Slayer. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the kind words. What video did you find it on? I'm glad you found the channel. We're going to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It's May 27th. We're sitting at almost 3,400. We're at 3,400 now. I just checked. We're sitting at 3,400. Share the channel with your friends, but only if they watch MMA. And just make sure to watch the videos for as long as possible, which helps really promote the content. And also like the videos and comment on the videos. It helps YouTube know that people are enjoying these videos, and they will send it out to more people who watch similar content to mine. So we're now, hold on, how many months? We're 14 months into the channel. The channel's only 14 months old. We're creeping. We're creeping fast to 4,000 subscribers. You think Strickland will try to wrestle Pereira? Probably. If he's smart, he will. If he's smart, Sean Strickland will try to take down Alex Pereira. But who said Sean Strickland's very smart? Do you think Sean Strickland has pillow hands? Yes. He does have pillow hands. It's not pillow hands like Rob Font pillow hands. Like, he busts guys up, but it's like there's no real like power to rock guys. Like, he has damaging shots, but he's not rocking guys at all. Who do you favor, Pena or Nunes? I think Pena wins. Worst men's division is definitely flyweight. I disagree, Jordan. Who would be a difficult challenge for Charles Oliveira? Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev for sure. Is he going to be looking for that flashy KO? I believe so. I believe look for the counter striking. Look to put out Jarrett Cannonier. Also, to answer this question again, Volkanovski. If Rockhold defeats Costa and if Alex defeats Strickland, should we do Alex versus Rockhold? No. The middleweight division is already lacking contenders. I said we wait and we let both of them get. I said we let them both get a shot against Izzy. So we just waited out. All MMA experts agree that Paddy's not a future champion from what I heard. Exactly. Yeah, and the reason I think that, you know, people are constantly calling him overrated is because his name's constantly being talked about. I don't ever see anyone, like, whether it be on my channel, in the comments, anything, or in the live streams, giving him any praise. You know what I mean? You know, saying that he's so great, or he's going to be a double champion, or he's going to be champion at all. Most people I see saying he doesn't have great skills. So that's why I don't think Paddy Pimblett's overrated. Justin G versus RDA wouldn't be bad either. I agree 100%. Would love to see that fight. Great stylistic matchup. Jamal Hill versus Thiago Santos. We just talked about this. I have Jamal Hill. I think Jarrett's reach could give Izzy some trouble, possibly. Does he have a reach advantage over him? I don't think he does. Jordan, flyweight or light heavyweight? Okay. You predicted the number of subs by the end of the year. I want to hit 10,000 subs. I think I did a video at the beginning of the year, the first day of the year. I predicted 8,000 subs by the end of the year. But I want to hit 10K. 10K by the end of the year is the goal for the channel. Let me know in the chat, guys. How many subscribers do you think this channel will have by the end of the year? What do you guys think? I'm curious. Let me know. Who said Strickland was smart? Yeah, I don't think anybody has. Do you agree with what Sean Strickland said? Just say yes. I don't know what he said. I don't pay attention to what he said. So I have no idea. Heard about Hamzat possibly fighting for an interim belt against who? It would be Leon Edwards for sure. Heard about Donald Cerrone did to Anthony Smith, mom and girlfriend. I did actually see that clip on Reddit. Disturbing. Disturbing. I'd be pissed, and I'll definitely be rooting against Donald's Cowboy Cerrone when he fights Joe Lozon. If Islam dominates Oliveira, how long do you see his title reign? I feel like his Sambo wrestling is a nightmare for contenders. I would see him having a long title reign, you know, because if he can blow through Oliveira, sky's the limit. I would like to see him against RDA, but I'd probably, if he blows through Oliveira, I'd pick him against RDA. You know, it would have to be one of these Gamrots or Tsarukyan or Frazeev to dethrone him at that point. He beats Gaethje, most likely. Chandler would be an interesting guy to fight Islam if he's the champ. If Conor McGregor returns, who should he face first? Either Chandler or Tony. Thoughts on Paulo Costa somehow can't make 185, 86 again. Thoughts. Yeah, I don't know. Then he needs to move to 205 permanently. He needs to move to 205 permanently. Jamal is a problem. I agree. 6,000 subs. I hope we surpass that. I'm not sure. I just set a goal for 10,000. We've got almost 1,000 in the last month, roughly. We've got about roughly 1,000 in the last month. So in that case, let's say June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 7,000 more subs by the end of the year. So that would be over 10,000 if we were able to achieve that. I don't know if that's possible. We will see. It wouldn't shock me if we were far past that. It wouldn't shock me if we were a little bit under it. I don't know. I'm just aiming as high as possible. Yo, good evening, Joey. How was your day? I'm doing good. How was your day? No problem, man. Thank you for coming to the stream at all. I say 7.5 by the end of the year. Appreciate your support and your confidence in me, man. Paddy and Molly McCann are both sloppy. It shows they don't have the best coaches. I'm so tired of just seeing that picture of them in the cage together, just looking stupid. Every time I see that, it's every article about Paddy the Baddy and Molly McCann. It's just that dumb picture of them. I actually find Molly McCann highly annoying. I doubt Leon would take that fight. I bet he'd just cry about waiting for a title shot instead. Dude, I have to be the defender of Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards accepted 3 fights with Khamzat Chimaev. 3. He accepted a fight with Jorge Masvidal. He accepted a fight with Tyron Woodley coming off his title loss. He accepted a fight with Colby Covington. Leon Edwards is down to fight. And if it's an interim title shot, he will take the fight against Khamzat Chimaev. 100%. Yeah, at least 7K subs by the end of the year. I hope so. I'm hoping for 10K, man. I'm aiming for 10K. We'll see. I'm not going to be disappointed either way, but I'm gonna work constantly and tirelessly till we reach 10,000 subscribers. Donald liked to pretend he's such a good, warm-hearted guy. He's actually a fake dude, not a good person. Okay, I don't know him, so I don't know. But the Anthony Smith story was a terrible look in general. An absolute terrible look. And I will not be rooting for him in his retirement fight now. I mean, forcing someone's mom out of their front row seat when they're waiting to watch their son fight in a title fight. I mean, how more douchey can you get? Seriously. Anthony Smith's a good guy. He didn't bring that up to public. I would have brought that into the public eye forever ago. And if I was Anthony Smith, I probably would have went and whooped his ass too. I know it would never happen, but looking at their skill set, Islam versus Habib, who do you got? I would pick Habib, but that would be very interesting. I think Habib's just too aggressive, and I think Islam wouldn't be able to take him down. So I think Habib would land on the feet and probably beat him up on the feet. That'd be a hell of a matchup. Is a small light heavyweight, looks like a middleweight or welterweight. I don't know. If Yan versus Glover happens, who would win? I have to pick Glover just because of what happened in the first fight. So, I agree. Leon has earned the most. Everyone disrespect him. Yeah, they don't remember the fact that he accepted all these fights. Leon Edwards accepts fights, guys. People are acting like he's ducking fights. Colby ducked fights for a long time, turning down fights for whichever reason, may have been financial, whatever. Leon Edwards accepted fight after fight after fight, and people act like he's ducking guys. It's actually really annoying. Do you think Volkanovski has the chance to become the greatest featherweight of all time on the night of UFC 276 if he beats Max again? Yes, for sure. I really can't help but feel bad for Leon at this point. He keeps getting screwed over. Just typical bad luck over and over and over again. So we'll see. Ankalaev versus Jamal Hill. Who do you got? Jamal has good wrestling. They're not fighting, though, but I would probably pick Ankalaev. I think he'd get out-wrestled. Anthony Smith is great. I'm a big fan myself as well. Cerrone said he was lying. I don't know. I think it's more complicated than that. Why would Anthony Smith make that story up? And if Anthony Smith got that information from his mother, why would his mother make that up? I 100% believe Anthony Smith. But I would love to hear more of the story. I would love to see Anthony Smith and Donald Cerrone talk it out. But I just think it's incredibly distasteful. A guy's fighting for a title, and you're forcing his mother out of her front row seats to watch her son fight for a title. Disrespectful as hell. And he's probably just going to blame it on being drunk. Leon didn't beat top 5 in his wins over lightweights. Okay, but it's not his fault. Paul Craig could be champion. No, Paul Craig is just getting Hail Mary submissions after Hail Mary submissions. Yeah, agree, Joey. Anthony Smith should beat the brakes off of Cerrone. I agree. Paulo Costa, one of the most unprofessional fighters on the roster. I hope Rockhold beats him. I mean, dude, I think he had an injury, and I think he just didn't want to pull out of the fight. And I think he was trolling about it, and he didn't want to come out and flat out say it. And I have the itchiest nose known to man. How do you feel about the Singapore card? Kind of weak in my opinion. Brando's show. I did a video about it. It was out on the channel yesterday or the day before. It's called How Good is UFC 275? And I grade the card. But just a little bit of a spoiler. I think it's an okay card, but not the greatest. It's not the greatest. I give it a grade at the end of the video. Go watch that video after this stream if you would. Paul Craig, BJJ is sharp. Yeah, man. He gets the piss beat out of him until he gets a Hail Mary submission every time, though. I thought I was the only one who thinks Molly McCann is annoying. No, you're not. You're not. I find her incredibly annoying. I mean, when you're drunk, you don't really know what you're doing, honestly. But it's not an excuse. I have like a mustache hair just tickling my nose over and over and over again. Hopefully I got it that time. What's up, Drunken Boxing MMA? Very poor card. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. I really feel like UFC 278 will be Edwards versus Chimaev for the interim title, a rare main event for an interim title. Yeah. I mean, I put a video out on it a week and a half ago, I think now. That's what I believe. You know, it's not for sure, but it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. I'm on the Molly annoying boat as well. There you go. Molly is annoying 100%. How long do you think it will take for women's MMA to get skilled enough where it's enjoyable to watch? I mean, some of them already are, man. It's just not the depth of talent isn't as legit. Even if he was drunk, what the heck, man? That's his mother. Exactly. It's not an excuse. Then you shouldn't be going out in public drunk then. Not sure if I will watch it. I would still watch it, man. Paul Craig's the luckiest UFC. I don't know if it's a luck or just gutsiness and heart, but he's pulled off some wins for sure. Do you think Jorge will return to the Octagon ever since what happened? Yes, he will. I believe he will. Probably to fight like a Nate Diaz or a Conor McGregor. That's the fight I wouldn't mind seeing. Imagine if Conor returns to Jorge Masvidal. That would be a ginormous fight. A massive, massive fight. Let me go check something out real quick. Exit out of this. Why is it not showing on the channel? We're at 3,401 subscribers, but it's still showing 3.39 on the channel. That's annoying. Maybe for some reason it didn't click over. But on my end, on my analytics, it shows me exactly how many subscribers I have. And I have 3,401. If somebody's watching this stream and they haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go subscribe. Hopefully we can get it to turn over on the public channel page. And also, we have almost 40 people in here, guys. How many times do I have to say this? We have almost 40 people in here. We only have 23 likes. Run up the likes on the stream. That's how we grow these streams. And then next thing you know, we get so many questions that we end up on here for 3 hours. So like the stream. Like the stream. I would appreciate it if you guys like the stream. It takes 1 second. Jones versus Aspinall and Jones versus Gane. Who do you favor in both? I favor Jones in both of them. I feel like Jones is a guy that always steps up to a challenge. You know, if he goes into a fight and everyone thinks he's going to wreck a guy, it's like he seems like he underperforms and he has trouble with these guys. Whereas if people think, oh, this is the guy that beat John Jones performs at his best. And I would love to see Jones versus either one of those guys. And it would be tough to pick him just because of the long time off. But I would love to see that fight. Keep the questions coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm actually going to tag something. Okay, it did change to 3.4. Let's see if we got... Yeah, for some reason, now we have 3,402 subscribers. Thank you to whoever subscribed. And now on the public channel, we hit 3.4K subscribers, which is crazy to me. I remember being super, super hyped that we hit 1,000. So to hit 3,000 subs, almost on 4,000 subs, is just insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. Okay, let's continue with the questions. Favorite foods to eat during a pay-per-view event? Chick-fil-A or some buffalo wings, for sure. Pigs in a blanket as well. To be completely honest, the prelims of UFC 275 is better than the main card. I don't know about that. A poor form from Cowboy, if it's true. Yeah, why would Cerrone make that up, though? Do you think you'll go to UFC 300? 281 is in October, so it's like 2 years away. Me and friends have already agreed to go. Maybe. If my YouTube channel, I'm telling you, if my YouTube channel is doing well in 2 years, hopefully it's making some good income, I'm definitely going to go to a couple events per year. If I can make enough money on this YouTube channel to support myself, which is the eventual dream goal, which I'm relying on you guys to continue to watch the videos. Yes. Please, your opinion on the Tsarukyan card. It's better than 276. Okay. That is a little hyperbole there. It's not better than 276. But the Tsarukyan Gamrot card is solid as hell. We were talking about it earlier. I actually still have the tab up. Chris Curtis versus Rodolfo Vieira. Tim Elliott's on the card. Neil Magny, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Thiago Moises is on the card. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Nate Madness. And then we also got the elite level Julian Piva versus Sergey Marozov, which, watch, he's going to lose to Sergey Marozov. And he's probably going to end up getting cut from the UFC because he's not that good. He's not that good. Let me actually post this. Become a member of the channel. Let me do this. I'm going to pin this to the top. If anybody wants to become a member of the channel, there's the link. I'm going to pin that to the top now. There we go. Message pinned. We're trying to grow the members. It's $3 a month, a bunch of benefits. Okay. Have you ever done MMA? No, I have not. Have you ever given official prediction for Joanna Wei Lee? No, I have not, but I will when we get closer. Next week. Next week, that will be coming out. Wei Lee beats Joanna again or 1-1? I'm not sure yet. I lean Wei Lee early, though. Coffee or tea? Definitely tea. I don't drink coffee at all. Joey, do you place? I don't know what that is. Pigs in a blanket, mini corn dog. Definitely pigs in a blanket, especially if you get some like queso cheese too or nacho cheese with it. Pigs in a blanket are great. If GSP was in his prime, would you like to see him versus Usman or versus Colby? Definitely versus Usman for sure. Versus Usman, I think, would be most intriguing. Petr Yan versus Marlon Vera. Who do you got? I think Petr Yan wins by decision, beats him up for 5 rounds, honestly. If Tai Tuivasa knocks out Tsarukyan, would you do it? No. Highly doubt Francis fights in UFC again. Pretty sure he'll fight Fury next year, and UFC won't be a part of it. He'll have made so much money and probably fights in Bellator or something. Thoughts? I hope you're wrong on that. I'm going to say the UFC works something out and gets him back. Neil Magny is boring. Who is Neil Magny? He's fighting Shavkat. He's fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov. And Neil Magny's not boring, man. Come on now. Neil Magny is a guy we need in the UFC. He's accepting fights against really tough up-and-coming guys. And Neil Magny is a measuring stick to really be able to show us where some guys are at. You know, he's a gatekeeper of the division, kind of. So we need guys like Neil Magny. Neil Magny was out there begging for a Khamzat Chimaev fight. It's very rare you have guys that are out there doing those types of things. So Neil Magny's an absolute savage. Has my respect for sure. Okay, let's X out of that. I got a bunch of tabs open. Let me X out of some of these tabs real quick, guys. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Okay, we're good to go. No one's speaking about Kattar versus Emmett, but that card, yeah, that's a solid. We were talking about that in the members Discord. That is a solid fight card. I'll pull that up right now. Open another tab. I just closed the 60 million of them. There's quite a few of my subscribers that are going to the event. Like 3 or 4 people have told me in these live streams that they are going to UFC Austin. And what a solid card. Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett, Donald Cerrone, Joe Lozon. Damir Ismagulov versus Guram Kutelades. I forgot how to pronounce his name. Julian Marquez versus Gregory Rodriguez. Tim Means, Kevin Holland. Joaquin Buckley, Albert Duraev, Phil Halls, Darren Wynn, Kyle Dawkins, Roman Delize. Jeremiah Wells, Court McGee, Adriana Yanez, Tony Kelly. It is a very, very solid card. For a fight night card, it's very, very solid for sure. Really looking forward to that fight card as well. In the summer, it seems like things pick up quite a bit. If Kimbo Slice were to be resurrected, who do you want to see him fight? Anthony Rumble Johnson in a no grappling match. How do you see Ngannou's contract situation being settled in the end? It seems like his relationship has gotten to the point of no return, especially with Dana. I think the UFC finds a way to work it out and let him box with Fury and gets a piece of the pie there. I think they'll figure it out. I hope. Maybe it's just optimism on my end, but I'm really hoping the UFC finds a way to work it out for sure. What's fun about Neil Magny? He's always fighting top guys, making their way up. Is there a fight between Khamzat and Leon for the interim? Who do you think will win? It's not official yet. It's not even rumored yet. It's borderline rumored, I guess. I kind of rumored it a week ago. I think it probably will end up happening depending on when Usman's coming back. I would favor Khamzat at this point, but it'd be a very intriguing fight. I would love to see Kimbo Slice versus Francis. I think Francis would just out-grapple him. I feel like Dana's low-key super pissed and vindictive towards Francis, especially if you go, yes, 100%, 100%. Neil Magny is a gatekeeper. Okay, we need those guys. Who do you got for the main event of Austin? Early prediction, I'm going Calvin Kattar. I just think he's faster. I think he's got the crisper boxing. And I think Josh Emmett, he's been out for a while before his last fight. I think he has good power. It's a tough fight to pick, to be honest. But early prediction, I'm going Calvin Kattar. Emmett is 37. Yeah, that's another factor. Emmett's kind of getting up there in age. And he was inactive before his last fight. Who did he just fight? No, I can't remember. But he was out for a while before his last fight. He fought Dan Ige. I think I thought he lost that fight too. I can't remember for sure though. Yeah, before that he was out for over a year basically. He was out for a year and a half before he fought Shane Burgos in June of 2020. He didn't come back till December of 2021 to fight what's his name? Dan Ige. Okay, hit the like on the stream with the Khamzat emoji. It doesn't pop up on StreamYard, the emoji. But yeah, if you guys want to become a member, you get the Khamzat Chimaev emoji among a bunch of other emojis as well. How do I become a fight promoter? I have no idea. Nothing wrong with being a gatekeeper. Not everyone can be champion. It means you're consistently a top 10 fighter in the world. I agree 100%. There's nothing wrong with it. And we need guys like that within the UFC. We need guys like that. Otherwise, we can't gauge some of this up and coming talent. You know, there's guys that are making their way up the ranks, and the elite level guys are, I'm not fighting him. I'm not fighting him. We need these guys in the middle to be tested of these up and coming guys. And then once they beat them, then it's like, okay, now they're taken seriously because they got through this guy. So, do you think Shavkat beats Magny if he should fight Gilbert Burns or too soon? If Shavkat beats Magny, I want to see him fight a top 5 guy. I don't know about Gilbert Burns, but I'd like to see him fight anyone in the top 5 at that point in time. I have no idea how I think Leon beats Khamzat, and I'm a Khamzat fan. Fair enough. I think it's a tough fight. Prime Fedor or Prime Kane. I didn't see too much of Prime Fedor. I just saw after the fact. I wasn't like live watching then, but I'll go Prime Kane. I always tell my friends that UFC pay-per-views are supposed to be like movies in terms of storylines and action. Would you ever see a pay-per-view live in the theater? I would love to, and we've talked about it in the members' Discord. I just can't be around all those people. There'll be definitely groups of annoying people there. I would love to, like, you know, a dream of mine would be like to rent out a theater for a pay-per-view and like a bunch of subscribers meet up at the theater and watch the pay-per-view, and everyone has name tag badges with their YouTube name on it. I would love something like that, but just meeting up with a bunch of randoms in the theater and probably have annoying people screaming at the top of their lungs, probably people drunk. It just doesn't sound like something I'd be into. But I would love to watch a fight on a movie theater screen, if that answers your question. Around like-minded people. Yeah, Magny gets disrespected. He's down to fight anyone. I agree. Prime Fedor for sure. People forget how good Fedor really was. You think Rockhold gets it done, yay or nay? I don't trust his chin. I don't trust Rockhold's chin at all. So I'll say no, he does not get it done. But he may very well. You know, he's taken off a long time. There's a chance. If there were to be a fight between Conor and Jorge, who would you favor? I just favor Jorge because Conor's coming back after the injury. Jorge's probably going to be bigger. I don't know, though, the way Conor has looked in recent photos. We'll see, though. But I'll lean Jorge. Yep, Slayer. Prime Fedor would wreck everyone for a decade. Okay. Yeah, I like Colby, but he's ducking top contenders, which is annoying aside from legal issues. Yeah, I mean, Colby's consistently done that. That's why he got stripped of his interim belt, and Usman got the title shot before him. Otherwise, Colby would have took the belt off Woodley. So he screwed himself, quite honestly. Who wins, Gamrot or Tsarukyan? I favor Tsarukyan, but that one is a very tough fight to pick. Fury versus Ngannou will never happen due to the fact Tyson is not the undisputed heavyweight champ and needs to fight a winner of AJ versus Usyk to cement his legacy. Okay, I know nothing about boxing. So I can't really say. to be quite honest. Who do you got in the KSW main event? I have no idea who's fighting, my friend. Did you see what happened to Neil Magny against Ponzinibbio? Shavkat will kill him. Okay. Well, Shavkat gets to prove himself. I'm excited to see Shavkat versus Magny. Can Cody be like how he was in the bantamweight division in the flyweight division? No, he will not. He's going back up to bantamweight. Prime Rockhold had before the suspect chin versus Izzy would have been 50-50. I agree, James. I agree. Because Luke Rockhold has great top game. If he were able to get Izzy down, he'd probably be able to control him on the ground. Prime Fedor versus DC would have been an amazing fight. I'm sure it would have been. Prime Silva versus Izzy. Silva, yes, I would go Anderson Silva. Do you have close friends other than subscribers that talk about MMA? I don't have. A lot of people don't. And I don't. I have like 2 friends who are casual MMA fans. And that's it. So my MMA friends is the community we built on this channel, around this channel. So you guys are my MMA friends. You guys, it's weird how MMA is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, let me know in the chat. A lot of you guys have friends, but have no friends who are into MMA as much as you are that understand it at a hardcore level like we do. And it's weird because there's a lot of people like that who are fans of MMA who just have no friends to talk MMA about, because their friends don't know anything about MMA. So the answer is no, I do not really have any friends that watch MMA religiously like I do or pay attention to every news story. What do you think Chandler needs to face rematch Oliveira? Probably one more big win. One more big win, I would say. Maybe if he fights the winner of RDA versus Fiziev and wins. Did you guys see Filipino knock out the Dagestani world champion in one championship event? Go check out the highlights. It's insane. I might have saw that on Twitter, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to go check that out. I don't remember. Cody already has a fight book back at bantamweight. Yes, he's fighting Ronnie Yaya. Antoine, where are you from? Because I might want to go to that theater. Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's not every single one, but there's a lot of places that show the fights in theaters. Who did you have in Woodley versus Hendricks before Johnny had to pull out? They were number 1 and number 3. I think I had Woodley, but I don't remember, to be quite honest. I think I picked Woodley in that one. Prime Kane versus Prime Fedora. I guess you mean Fedor. Would have been legendary. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Yeah, there's a few. Okay. Who were the top 3 of each weight class? What do you mean? Like my top 3 of each weight class or the top 3 rankings? You're going to have to elaborate on that, my friend. Let me know, and then I'll answer you. GSP versus Habib at 163, right in the middle. Who you got? I'll take GSP. I meant GSP, of course. Okay, that's what you said. MMA friends. I don't know what that means with all the emojis, but sure enough. I got 3 buddies on the O'Malley train, and now they watch almost every card. Just because of Sean O'Malley? Besides you, answer me this. I'm always curious. If Sean O'Malley just gets wrecked by Pedro Munoz, and you know that he's never going to be anything within a division, how devastated would you be? I'm curious. Went back and saw the grade you gave Singapore. Great video. Thank you, Brando's show. Yeah, D+. D+ for spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it. I talked through the video why I gave it that grade, but I give tough grades to cards. Your personal top 3 of all time in each weight class. Jeez, man, that is a tough question. That is a tough question. Flyweight, I'm going to forget. Demetrius, Mighty Mouse Johnson, Joseph Benavidez, and I'll say Davison Figueiredo. Bantamweight, who's the best bantamweight of all time? Cruz is kind of in a weird spot because he was constantly injured. But I'll say Cruz. I haven't been watching all this time. I'll say Cruz, Piotr Jan. I don't know another one. Featherweight, easy. Volkanovski or Aldo Volkanovski Max. Lightweight, best lightweights of all time. Habib. BJ Penn, even though I missed a lot of the BJ Penn era. And I'll say Benson Henderson. Welterweight, GSP without a doubt. Kamaru Usman's a number 2. And I'll say Matt Serra or Matt Hughes. even though I wasn't around for that era. Middleweight, definitely Anderson Silva. Then probably Adesanya. Then I'm trying to think who else was at middleweight. Middleweight. I don't know. I'll go Whitaker. Light heavyweight, definitely Jones. I guess Glover. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. No, not Glover. I'll say Jones, Shogun, Lyoto. Heavyweight, probably JDS for me. Who else? Shane Carwin, if he was able to stay healthy, I think he would have been around for a long time. So I'll say JDS, Kane, and I'll say Francis. So there you go. Cheeto smokes O'Malley again. I would favor Cheeto. Who do you think would win if they fought? Joel Alvarez versus Grant Dawson and Joel Alvarez versus Jalen Turner. I'll go Joel Alvarez to beat Grant Dawson, and I'll go Jalen Turner. I just think Jalen Turner is just so well-rounded and so fast. I think he could probably TKO him. Against Grant Dawson, I think Joel Alvarez submits him. Guillotines him on the shot. I made my dad somewhat of an MMA fan beyond the casual space, at least. It was first that really drew him in. Tony Ferguson had some great fights. Is Justin the easiest fight to Oliveira as his grappling the weakest in the top 5? I don't know, man. It's tough because Justin has great striking. D+, dang, you're a tough grader. Yeah, I have high standards, man. I have high standards. I'd be devastated for sure. Can't lie. O'Malley's fragility? Is that even a word? Fragility? O'Malley's durability, I'll replace it with that. Could be an issue for sure. Where did you watch Habib Conor and rate it? Where did you watch Habib Conor? I watched it at my house, in my living room, in this very house that I'm in right now. And what do you mean? How did I rate the fight? After, before? What do you mean rate it? I think it was. I enjoyed it because I thought Habib was going to knockdown him and beat him up, and he basically did. I would love to see Tony Ferguson versus Gaethje rematch. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I just hope O'Malley's style speed is good enough to not get in too many wars. Could very well be. He has power for the division. You know, you look at the division. Let me pull up the division real quick. At bantamweight. Who has more power than him, to be quite honest? At least it appears. Maybe Song Yadong. Marlon Vera has good power, but hasn't really been knocking guys dead. But again, it's different against these elite level conditioned athletes. So we'll see. But O'Malley's power and length and height could take him far. Oh yeah, Stipe. I forgot about Stipe. So I'll say Stipe, JDS, Kane, and Ngannou. Not even trying to hype it up, but you know it's stacked car when they let Sean kick off the night. It's a review when a popular fighter opens it up. Agreed. What the hell? I don't know what we're talking about. Jalen Turner has stand up too. Yeah, he's very well. Do you see Izzy going up to light heavyweight in the near future if Yuri beats Glover? And how do you see that fight going? Possibly if Yuri beats Glover. If Glover wins, Izzy would get a career-altering beating from Glover. So no. Who would win, Brad Riddell or Bobby Green? I'll pick I'll pick Brad Riddell. DC second best light heavyweight and Gus is third. Weidman third best middleweight based on resume. Fair enough. I knew there was going to be guys I forget going off the top of my head. But yeah, I would go Jones, DC, Gus for light heavyweight. I forgot about it. I literally forgot. I know that sounds crazy, but it's hard trying to think of every error that I've witnessed. Jalen Turner has pretty good stand-up. I would agree. Blaze 1 with all the emojis. What's going on, man? What would you like to see next for Bilal Muhammad? Gilbert Burns. I'm curious, what cards have you given an A+? I've never given an A+ yet. But let me explain to you what would be an A+. If you take UFC 276, you remove Cannonier and Adesanya, and you do Oliveira Islam, that would be an A+ for me. Because the main event would be highly compelling, highly competitive matchup. So that would be an A+. But I only started grading cards in the last like three pay-per-views. What? No Chuck Liddell? I'm forgetting, man. I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting. So yeah, I'll say, and also I missed a lot of that air. I caught the end of Chuck Liddell's air, so it's a little bit different for me. But I'll say Jones, DC, and Chuck Liddell then. I forgot about Chuck because Chuck was one of the guys I saw a rerun of him versus Vanderlei Silva, and that was one of the things. That was one of those things that drew me to the sport a little bit more. It didn't make me a fan, but it drew me to the sport. Happy Friday. What's up, Derek? Happy Friday to you as well. Thank you for joining the live stream. Rank the best strikers at lightweight from best to worst. Justin, Dustin, Fiziev, Turner, Demir, Guram, and Oliveira. I will say Fiziev, Justin, Oliveira, Dustin, Turner, Demir, and Guram. I'm not 100% sure, though. I'm having a hard time recollecting Demir and Guram's exact striking ability. I remember Guram has a win over Gamrot, but it was a robbery win, borderline. Imagine if John Lineker was still in the UFC. Him and Song Yadong would have been a striker's delight. Someone definitely would have been knocked out. Yes, I was so sad when the UFC let him go for no reason. One of the best cards was GSP versus Bisbang, Joanna Rose, and Cody versus Dillashaw. 3 trash talkers got whooped in the same night. Was a perfect night for me. Yeah, it was great. I might put Yan over Gustafsson, former champion, and defended it against. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Off the top of my head, it was kind of hard, so don't take everything. Be honest, were you surprised when Sean O'Malley lost to Marlon Vera? I wasn't shocked, but I expected O'Malley to win, if that's the question. Prime Johnny Hendricks versus Usman. If you mean prime Johnny Hendricks, like the one that's knocking Mark Kaplan dead, I'll go Hendricks. But that was pre-USADA Johnny Hendricks. And it seemed post-USADA Johnny Hendricks changed quite a bit. He used to have that brutal one-punch KO power. It was filthy. Islam Makhachev is a -2. I think that's insanity. At bare minimum, it should be an even fight, 50-50 fight. But I don't know too much about odds. Happy Friday, gang. Oliveira said that he would love to go to 45 or 70. He can beat Volk and Usman. I wouldn't favor him against either one of those guys. Especially Usman would be just too big for him. But it'd be interesting for sure. I think John Lineker would have given Sean O'Malley. John Lineker would have plotted forward and looked to take out. He would have looked to kick through the legs. There's certain guys that throw leg kicks, and they look to kick through the legs, like almost like they kick the lead leg so hard, they're almost looking to sweep the legs out from underneath of them. And John Lineker was one of those guys, and he would have done that to O'Malley, and O'Malley probably would have got a leg injury. What do you think about a potential banger between Chandler and Tsarukyan? I love that fight. I probably pick Tsarukyan. Usually the young eat the old. The young are perpetually eating old. Sup, bro? What are Yan's chances against Yuri in a rematch against Glover? I think he could win those fights. I'll say 40% chance against both of them. Against Yuri, Yuri's super reckless, and that brutal Polish power could put him out on the way in. And against Glover, I mean, he was clipping up Glover in the first fight. Maybe he just had an off night. I don't know. I'd favor Glover in the rematch just because of what happened in the first fight, but I think he would have a chance. Islam should fight Dariush. To be honest, he hasn't earned a title shot. Dude, he's had big fights that have pulled out from underneath of him, okay, man? He's had big fights. There's nobody else that deserves a title shot more than him. So, I have no problem with Islam getting a title shot, especially considering it's the most compelling fight that the UFC can make right now. Sup, bro? Okay, I read that. Is Usman still in his prime at 35? I think he is. Hold on, let's really talk about. I'm genuinely confused on who to put to Dariush against. I'm going crazy. Dariush should fight the Dariush versus Chandler, or Dariush versus Justin Gaethje. I think either one of those fights makes sense. John Lineker had a good body. Yeah, John Lineker would just plot forward, start ripping the body. If you have not, I said this a million times. If you have not seen John Lineker versus Francisco Rivera, go look up that fight. One of the best fights of all time. pure craziness, pure chaos, absolute savagery. Find that fight, whether it's on YouTube, UFC Fight Pass, whatever it may be. Go look up John Lineker versus Francisco Rivera, I think it was. Will you put some money on Charles if Islam is Nate? I'm not a betting man. If I was, definitely. Salutations, Joey. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Same to you, Legalize Ranch. Who do you think is fighting Mac next? Chandler, Tony, possibly Nate, do Bronx. If I had to put money on it, I'm going Nate Diaz, the trilogy. I think that's the most likely fight. Who would Volkanovski possibly beat at lightweight top 5? Dustin, Justin, Islam, Dariush, Chandler. I think he would have a chance against any of them. I'd pick Dustin probably to beat him. I'd probably pick Justin to beat him as well. I'd probably pick Islam to beat him. I'd pick him to beat Dariush, and I'd probably pick him to beat Chandler. Just off the top of my head, though. When you grade cards, it's pre-card lineup or how cards end up turning out. We've had a lot of pay-per-views good on paper or that are snooze fest. I'm grading them on paper. So I'm not grading them after the fact. I'm grading them pre-card. Pre the fight's happening. Beating Bobby Green doesn't earn you a title shot, in my opinion. Islam needs, but it's not his fault he didn't fight Dariush. John, I don't know what that's saying. Slight off topic, but did you know you can bet on, you can bet on anything nowadays. They want to take your money. Could Islam beat Colby at 165? It's possible. That'll never happen though. I seen that fight between Lineker and Francisco Rivera. It was an all-out. It was one of the craziest slugfest I've ever seen. Dariush is no longer top 5, so Islam does not need to fight him. There you go. I would like to see the Dariush fight, but I'd rather just have the Oliveira fight at this point. So what are your plans for Saturday night? Maybe a stream? I might do a stream. What do you guys think? Should I do a stream tomorrow night as well? Let me know. Who would join me for a stream tomorrow night? Don't say yes if you're not going to be here, okay? Let me know in the chat. Would you join me for a stream on Saturday night, a.k.a. 24 hours from now? John Lineker is killing it at one championship. Did you watch his last fight against Bibano? Crazy KO ending. Oh, my Lord. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, but John Lineker has some filthy power. And what was the fight before that? Let me look that up, too. The fight before it, I think, was filthy, too. Johnny Lineker. Oh, my God. Dude, he looks jacked, too, at one. Was it this one? Was it April? Yeah, the Troy Worthen fight was brutal as well. I mean, he's just KOing he's got 3 KOs in his last fights. 2 of them in the second round and 1 of them in the first round. He's doing well over there for sure. Doing well over there. Okay. Islam said he wants to win the belt, defend a bit, and then go to welterweight. What do you think about his potential at welterweight? I mean, it's grappling heavy. It's grappling heavy, so I'd like to see him at welterweight if he defends the belt a few times at lightweight, then I'd love to see him at welterweight. I rewatched Yuri versus Reyes. Yuri makes me nervous with how much, he gets clipped quite a bit. And if he gets clipped by Glover and Glover jumps on top of him on the ground, oh man, he's probably going to get brutalized with ground and pound and eventually submit it. Who has the best grappling, Islam or Oliveira? I'll say Oliveira. Yes, Saturday stream. Well, I got one answer. I def join tomorrow night stream. Okay, Mario, I appreciate you, man. Yes. The Kevin Belajuwon too. Yeah. Yes. Former champ John Lineker will kill most of these bantamweights in the UFC now. I don't know about that, but I wish he was still here fighting in the division. Yeah, I'd be here for a stream tomorrow. Thank you. Besides you, thank you. So that's a bunch of yeses. We'll probably do it. There's no UFC fights tomorrow. I usually stream the UFC fights anyway. Maybe I'll do like a... Holy crap. We've already been on here for an hour and 20 minutes tonight. An hour and 20 minutes. Let me X out of some of these tabs that I don't need anymore. Don't need that. Give me 1 second, guys. Keep the questions coming. I can't believe we already been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. Time just flying by. Okay, let's continue. I think John Lineker would still be a problem for Petr Yan. I don't know about that, but it would definitely be compelling. I mean, he had KO power. Is Thomas Almeida still in the UFC? No. For sure, bro. I'm here. Thank you, Antoine. If Conor beats Charles, which I don't see happening, do you think they may try doing a fourth Poirier fight right after as much as Yes, for sure. For sure. Thoughts on Judo and MMA? I mean, it's... I don't know what thoughts exactly do you want on it. I guess it's a good skill set to have. I don't know if it's like one of the top skill sets to have, but I guess it helps you with some things. What is MMA Joey's favorite weight class? Who can answer that question for Brandos? Who knows my favorite weight class? Put it in the chat. I'd be here for sure. Thank you, Daily Habit. Appreciate you. John Lineker got schooled by TJ MMA Clinic. He's in the league filled with strikers. Yeah, he was rushing forward, and TJ just picked him apart. What happened if TJ becomes a 3 times bantamweight champion? I guess he would go down. He would go down in history as one of the best bantamweights, unfortunately, even though he's a cheater. He's a cheater. Which undefeated featherweight will be the first, and who will still be undefeated? Which featherweight will lose first, and who will still be undefeated? Topuria, Evelev, Mitchell, and Allen. Who will lose first? Topuria, Evelev, Mitchell, Allen. I'll say Topuria. And who will still be undefeated? I'll say Allen stays undefeated. What happens if TJ... Okay, I already answered that. You've been training with Cejudo and Jones. His grappling should be okay. At least hope he wins. Dude is exciting as F. He has a great mentality for fighting for sure. I agree. Bantam. Look, Cyber knows. That's my favorite weight class, my friend. Bantam. Looks like besides you knows as well. Could Habib in his prime gone up to 170 and beat Colby? It's possible, but I don't... the size difference might be a little much. Bantam. James Perez knows too. Beast Mode says lightweight. Nope, it's bantamweight is my favorite division. Yo, Joey, do you play EA UFC? If you do, you should stream that. No, I don't. Maybe next time when a new one comes out, I might try it again. I haven't tried it in a long while. It's women's featherweight. Yeah, that's my favorite division, Legalized Ranch. I mean, isn't everyone's favorite division women's featherweight at this point? I mean, how can you not love women's featherweight? Women's featherweight is just so stacked from top to bottom. I mean, they shouldn't even have a top 15 because it's so competitive. There's like 30 or 40 I can name right off the top of my head women's featherweight fighters that should be in the top 15, honestly. It's pretty garbage, but better than nothing. Yeah, I liked the first one, but then the second and the third did me in, and I was like, I'm out of here. And I even bought 4. I played it one time and then uninstalled it. Allen. I don't know what the question there is there. Joey, I know you like I do like the lightweight division. Who would win? Who would you have in Bryce Mitchell versus Arnold now? I'd probably take Arnold Allen. I think he'd be able to stuff the takedowns and outstrike him. But I picked Edson Barboza to get it done, so what do I know? Women's featherweight is the ish. All 3 of them. Yeah. Would we ever love to see the day where we have a cross-promotion championship merge fight? Yes, but it's never going to happen, at least with the UFC. Mozart Evelev is tiny for featherweight. He should fight at bantamweight. He's got a big fight with Dan Ige next week. I'm looking forward to that fight. He was supposed to fight Topuria a few months back. I wish that would have happened. I got to trim up his mustache, guys. It's itching me to death here. If Pena gets stopped again, would you be surprised if she retires right away? No, I would not be surprised at all. I think most likely she retires. If she loses to Pena again, especially if she gets stopped by Pena. If she gets stopped by Juliana Pena, she almost definitely leaves for good. You know what I forgot to do, but I'll go do it now, even though we're a million miles into the stream. I forgot to tweet this out. Guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at MMA Joey C. As well as Instagram is the same thing, at MMA Joey C. Let me type it in the thing. MMA Joey C. There you go. That's my Twitter and Instagram name. So go follow me there. I forgot to tweet out I was doing a live stream tonight. So I'm going to go tweet it out now, an hour and a half late. Talking. Keep the questions coming, guys. I meant to tweet that out. I try to tweet out every time I get on here, but I just forget sometimes. I forget. Sorry, Nunes. I know what you meant. I even think I read it the wrong way. Honestly, they should remove all the women's divisions. I like strawweight. Do you think Max Holloway officially moves to 55 if he loses to Volk? Or he waits around for a year and hopes Volk loses his next fight? Barboza's worse? Runny nose, huh? Get you some... Nah, I don't have a runny nose. My mustache is tickling my nose. Barboza's not washed, so we got someone with a disagreement. The fact that UFC 276 is starting off with Brad Riddell, Jalen Turner tells you how stacked it is. Is that the first prelim or the first main card fight? I don't know if we know the official bout order yet. It's going to change like 60 times. Who was your favorite fighter of all time? My favorite fighter of all time is Anderson the Spider Silva. My favorite fighter of all time. Absolutely love Anderson Silva. Always out there trying to entertain, or at least when I watched the most. So, hold on one second. I absolutely love watching Anderson Silva. Every time he fought, it was must-watch TV. I know he had some boring fights, but I was super pumped. Why do you think the UFC hasn't tried to create grappling and Muay Thai divisions like one has? I just don't think it's important to them. I don't think it's going to affect their bottom line, honestly. I think that's the reason why. They can remove all women as long as they put Bull in men's flyweight. I like her chances. Imagine her becoming champ. Yeah, I don't think she's going to win at men's flyweight either, to be honest. I don't think she's beaten some of those men's flyweights, but it's possible. But either way, it's not going to happen at all. It's not going to happen at all. Let's see. Did anybody else know on mobile Twitter, it like changed, the layout of mobile Twitter changed? I can't believe Tsarukyan beat the piss out of Joel Alvarez. I picked Joel Alvarez to win that fight against Tsarukyan, and boy was I wrong. I was completely wrong. I just saw a picture on Twitter. I forgot Joel Alvarez was just bloodied up. Dude, I swear, Ali Abdelaziz is already trying to campaign for a Nick Diaz title shot. Usman's manager. They know it's an easy fight that's going to make them money. Can you imagine watching that? I wouldn't watch that. I swear I would boycott that if that happened. If they booked Kamaru Usman versus Nick Diaz, I would straight up boycott. Juice Anderson Silva. Dana loves boxing, though. He always says boxing promoters are corrupt. Yeah, whatever happened to Zuffa boxing? He's always saying, we're going to do Zuffa boxing, and it never happens. Is Chito Vera's next fight for the #1 contender? Probably. I would say yes, but I don't know. Is triple champ status possible in your opinion? It's very unlikely, dude. It's going to be so tough to pull off something like that. Do you think Claressa Shields would... No, she will never make it to the UFC. She's terrible. She's absolutely garbage. So the answer is no. Do you think Silva Rex Jake? Yes. I'm not even going to say his name. There is a reason that the YouTube boxer who shall not be named is perpetually calling out old MMA fighters who were primarily grapplers. Meanwhile, you have a guy who's an old MMA fighter who's boxing currently, who's the same size as him, and he will not say his name. It's because he knows what will happen. He's going to hope for a decline, and then he's finally going to take it in a couple years, maybe a year or two. Hope for a decline, and then take it. He's picking out smaller guys who were ex-MMA fighters who are not even strikers. Meanwhile, there's a guy that's retired, who's free of his UFC contract, who is boxing, and who is the same size as him, and he will not ever mention his name. He will never box Anderson. I'd be shocked because Anderson's going to KO him brutally. I would love to see that happen. I would actually watch that boxing event. I would actually watch that one. And I avoid that freak show fighting. I would watch it. But it's never going to happen. He's going to continue to try to box guys that have no business in the boxing ring. And the media is going to continue to eat it up, which is why I don't talk about it much. Because I don't want to have, even if it's just a small voice, I don't want to have any part in bringing up that guy's name and promoting it because I don't want to support that garbage. It's for some people. I'm not saying you can't like it, but for me personally, I don't want to talk about it. We need stop it. Bullet can become triple champ if she makes strawweight without getting I don't think she can make strawweight, so I don't think she can be triple champ. Do you think the new age BJJ guys will eventually take over MMA? I'm still of the opinion BJJ is a better base for MMA than wrestling. These new BJJ guys like Ryan Tannett, Rutolo guys are crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so. I think wrestling's always going to be the best base, in my opinion. But you could be right. Jake Paul, I said his name, is going to make his UFC debut. No. YouTube boxers will buy the fight. Why hasn't Sam Alvey been cut from the UFC? I guess because he's a company man. What should fight night main events have? Title eliminator, prospect versus prospect, or random top 10 versus top 10 like it is now? I think all those. As far as the main event should be a title eliminator or 2 top 10 guys who are relevant to the title picture would be best guess for me. That's what I would like to see. 2 people who are relevant to the title picture or just a straight up title eliminator. I would prefer a title eliminator, but that's not always possible. In rare instances, we can have very good prospect versus prospect fights, like our man Tsarukyan versus Mateusz Gamrot. We have so many great fights coming up in June and July. I'm so pumped. July is just stacked with incredible fights. We're a month away from just being spoiled with amazing fights. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. Do you think it's a little bit unfair, the other bantamweights, that they are probably going to give TJ the title shot for a 2-year layoff? Well, he fought Sandhagen, but I still think it's unfair. He's a cheater. He injected into his body. I just can't support that. So it won't necessarily be fair, but I kind of understand it. They should do Roy Jones once and for all. Better late than never. Okay, nah. They worked guards too much. The last couple ADCCs are 100. I'm a BJJ guy, just being real. ADCC guys are what I mean. If Blank had at least one fight in the year, I doubt it. It's never going to happen. Why? Came after Beneil Dariush because Beneil Dariush said that Charles Oliveira is crazy for trying to fight Conor. Basically, Conor's washed, and Conor clearly took offense to that. Dana White, July 2nd. Dana White emoji. Who's your favorite prospect in MMA right now? I like Ilia Topuria. It's not really a prospect anymore, but Rafael Fiziev. It's not really a prospect anymore, but I really am looking forward to seeing what Rafael Fiziev can do within the division. For 100% sure. That's going to be a guy that could be a future champion. There's so many prospects within, the lightweight division. Tsarukyan, Gamrot, Gregor, bantamweight, Umar Nurmagomedov, Said Nurmagomedov, Yanez. There's just a couple off the top of my head. I mean, there's so many great potential up-and-coming contenders within each division. Why do UFC fighters have bodyguards? What do you mean by that? I guess so they don't get shot? I don't know. Aldo bantamweight looks like great to me. Very possible. What, possible he becomes a bantamweight champion? I think it's possible. I would like to see Topuria versus Barboza down the line. That fight's already booked, Brandon. Who would you say is the dark horse of their division? The dark horse of their division. AKA they get no respect but could be a future champion. I will say Jack Shore at bantamweight. Who else? Shavkat Rakhmonov, but I don't know if he's a dark horse or not. There you go. There's a couple of them. I did my best. I think UFC 276 is the most stacked card since 268. 269 was fire, though. I agree. 276 is nasty. And it's actually one of my best performing videos. I did a video about UFC 276 when we initially got the news of what would be 276. And that video has been one of my best videos that I've ever done. Let me go check real quick. I'll tell you right now how many views it has. I'll tell you right now, last 28 days. It's the best video of my last 28 days. It's at almost 7,500 views, which is a lot for my channel. I've gotten so many good view videos the last 28 days. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. That's why I need you to like this stream. I need you guys to run up the likes on the stream. We surpassed 3,400 subscribers. We're 600 and some. We're less than 600 subs away from 4,000. I would love to hit it there. Hit it before the end of June. I want to hit 4,000 subs. I think it's very possible. We're at 3,403 right now, and the content's going to continue to come. I feel like Fiziev isn't cerebral enough to be champ. Also doubt he has a ground game. He won't get past Islam or Charles. Fair enough. Paul Craig, dark horse at 205. I just think Paul Craig takes too much damage. Oh, wait. That's booked. LOL. Missed that. I'll lean Taboria, but super intriguing. It's funny that you said that, and it's actually a fight that's booked. I think it's booked for July. I might be wrong, though. Do you believe splitting the check on a first date? I mean, it's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it necessarily. But I think people are too weird about that anyway. You know, oh, the male should pay. You know, I guess when you guys first start dating. But at the same time, like, it doesn't really matter. At least I don't care either way. I wouldn't feel weird letting a woman pay for me out to eat. Again, I wouldn't feel weird paying for it either. So I think it's fine. But I guess, you know, if you want to go with old-time tradition, you should probably pay. Do you think Petr Yan and Brandon Moreno are better than the champion despite the last loss? Yes, I do. It's not booked. Are you sure? I swear we got this news the other day. Ilya Topuria versus Edson. Am I mistaken? Oh, it's just, it is... It's in the works. It's not official. It's not finalized, but that's what the UFC is working on, apparently, according to Ariel Helwani. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I thought it was officially booked. I thought it was. I must have just saw it, and then I forgot that it was just in the works. So I appreciate you letting me know. Okay. When I do these streams, I end up with 1 million tabs open. I don't know how it ends up happening, but I end up with like 65 tabs open, looking up different things. Okay, guys. We've gone for over an hour and a half. Let's get a couple more questions, and then we're going to end the stream. I'll be back tomorrow night, most likely. We'll do another stream tomorrow night. There's no fights, but I'm sure we'll find something to talk about. Before we go, make sure to like this stream before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And if you have any final questions, throw them in the chat. I'm going to read a couple more questions before we end the stream. We're at an hour and 38 minutes. We'll probably go maybe an hour and 45, something like that, along those lines. Okay. Also, do you think Paddy could ever crack the top 5? It's not like he'll fight in scrubs forever. He may get better over time. I mean, it's possible, but I highly doubt it. But you never know. You know, he could vastly improve. He's going to attempt to, for sure. But, you know, his skill set's where they are now. It's just highly questionable to me. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. People saying Leavitt is going to beat Paddy are delusional. I know there's some people like confident that Leavitt's going to beat Paddy. I don't really. I think Paddy wins. I did a video on it if you want to check it out after the stream. I did a video on it. I just think Paddy's too big, too strong, and I think he's the better grappler than Jordan Leavitt. But imagine Jordan Leavitt stops Paddy the Batty and starts twerking in the O2 Arena in London. That would be insane. I think Paddy knocks Jordan out. I think he just out-grapples him for 3 rounds, in my opinion. But who knows? Paddy gets careless on the feet. Maybe he gets clipped. I doubt it. I mean, even if he does, he probably survives and then out-grapples him anyway. But who knows? If Khamzat Leon happens, where do you think they might put it? 278, 279, 280, or UFC London by any chance? I think it happens at UFC 278. I think that's what happens. But yeah, I see you'll be getting off soon. Good night. Good night, Antoine. And guys, that does it for this live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me. Make sure you come back tomorrow night. I'll be streaming around the same time tomorrow night. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe. And I want you guys all to enjoy the rest of your night. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.